Good evening, everybody. How's it going tonight? Midweek here, getting closer to the weekend. Hopefully, everybody's got plans to fill the voids, top off what they need to top off, and keep preparing. What I wanted to talk about tonight was the ever so important topic of covering yourself. When I say cover yourself, I'm talking about, financially, security wise, obviously preps, and then plans. Let's start with the first one, financial. We all know that the rate that they're printing money, they'll never pay back. We'll never pay back. I mean, we may pay the, powers that be, but they're never going to pay the money back. And I think we know that. If you don't know what to tell you there. But anyway, in covering yourself financially, what I'm talking about is, let's just call it cash on hand. Now, I know everybody's in a different situation. Some people don't have it. Some people have very little. Some people have, a median amount. Some people have a large amount. But it necessarily doesn't have to be cash, to be financially stable. You can have items. You can have barter items. You can have, precious metals. You can have gems. There's all kinds of things that you can have. You can have fried rice and all that jazz. But if you do have access to some cash, I would encourage everybody to have, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how much you should keep on hand. That's, everybody has a personal decision to make with regard to that. I would say this. I would say if you had to leave your home and bug out, and you already have a plan where that is, and you know how long it's going to take you to get there under normal circumstances, should it be SHTF or longer, what's it going to take? What do you think it's going to take for you to get there financially without any type of support? Because it's probably going to be like Mexico, oh, you want to come through this route? Well, you got to pay the permit. And so it's not just getting fuel or buying things off the black market. It's about having to pay the powers that be to allow you passage. So it's something to think about. I would get mostly small bills if you can. During Ice-Mageddon here, a lot of stores didn't have any power, so they were selling things, fuel in particular. They on these rolling blackouts, they would have enough juice to run the pumps, but they didn't really have enough to run the cash registers and link up with all the Wi-Fi needed to do transactions electronically. So they were just taking cash and they were not given change. So I would have some small bills, and then have a way to secure it somehow. Have a way to hide it. Get yourself a little metal, collapsible box, or an Altoids can or something like that. And something that's somewhat fireproof, waterproof. And store it somewhere. Sometimes hiding it in plain sight's the best way to hide things, and then just have that ability, have that option should it come to that. Another thing I want to talk about was to have your bug out bags ready. If you're like me, you've probably got a couple different ones. One's more of like an EDC, but then I also have a bug out bag as well, and that's sort of at the ready all the time. My my backpack that I carry with me daily is sort of an EDC / bug out bag, but I've got other places that I would typically end up going directly from anywhere. So I have stuff that's already stashed there as well. So I don't need a complete loaded down bug out bag full of everything when I've got several different stops along the way, or places that I can hole up, should it come to that. So, but have those bags and those EDCs ready. Why don't you make it a point this weekend to get that done if it's not already done. Go through them, make sure they're straight. Finish off the last things you need to finish off. Solidify your plans, solidify your routes. You know, if you know that this is the place that you're going to go, do you know how to get there without the use of an electronic map on your phone? Do you know the way by heart? Do you have a paper map? Do you have, other, landmarks to go by to get there? I don't know. I'm just telling you to think about these things. And I know I've talked about it before, but and I tried to do this the other night on Prepping 101's live stream, and it just didn't work out. But we were talking about, he had a book, he was a Field and Stream book that he was showing everybody on the live about, being able to, sort of a survival book, how to process, how to shoot wild game, how to process wild game, how to keep wild game, safe and edible, etc. And it was a really cool book, and it was I think it was fairly old, but it was very informative, and it was a very, very cool thing to have. And for some people that maybe doesn't have experience in those types of things, it would be a great book to have in your possession. And I wanted to show a book, and I know I've done videos on it before, but I wanted to show a book that I've got, and I picked it up from Harbor Freight, and it's called The Pocket Reference Book by Thomas Glover. And this thing is really cool. It's just got, this table of contents is just wild. I mean, it's just got all kinds of cool things in it, everything from the table of elements and what they do, I mean, it's like Google in a book. Stuff for automotive repair. Talks about wiring connectors, just fuses, all kinds of wild stuff. It's like I said, Google in a book, it's just really, really neat. A lot of construction references in here as well. Talks about floor joists and trusses and pressure treated lumber. Just amazing. Talks about mortar, concrete, even has stuff on screws and nails and torque, and it's really, really neat. Anyway, I just thought that this would be a really cool book, especially for Christmas coming up, and you can get them online through Amazon as well. But, for maybe people that, sort of just want one book for a lot of different things. Talks about solvents, paint, and different stuff, Knots. I think Ace Hardware carried them or something like it as well for a while. Talks about saw blades and such. But for people that, it even talks about money. Pipes and fittings. Mine, mill, and aggregates. Talks about money. Interest. Anyway, it's just tons of stuff in here. Talks about all the different symbols, international symbols, sign language. Military rank. All branches are covered there. Just really neat stuff. Just, it's like Googling a book. Like I said, it talks about computers. Not that that's going to make a hill of beans about anything, but something I thought that, you know, it's really cool to have just thrown in a backpack, because it's very small, doesn't take up any room, you know. It's like a little quick reference book, or almost like one of those little mini Bibles. It talks about weather. It's really cool stuff. I thought that people would find it interesting and want to, you know, maybe participate in it and just have it handy for, you know, their preps. So for those of you that are interested, again, it's called The Pocket Reference by Thomas Glover, and this is the 4th edition by Sequoia Publishing. This is see, I was looking for the number. There's some information if you're interested. But anyway, I just thought I would show it again because it's really cool and it's really handy. I mean, you could damn near teach kids about anything with this, you know, and just have it around. And like I said, the biggest thing about it is its size. It's so small that it's, you know, great. Anyway, I don't want to keep y'all too long tonight. I know people have things to do and things to discuss and think about. So I would just ask that you please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all my subscribers, and anybody new that's come along. Please keep the interaction coming. I love it. I think we need to communicate in order to get better. So with that, keep prepping, stack it deep, and long live the Republic.